What is up, YouTube? My name is Ricky, and today we're going to be reacting to Nightwish Ghost Love Score live at Wacken 2013. That's what we're going to be reacting to today. Per usual, like, comment, subscribe, and if there's anything specifically you want me to react to, it doesn't have to be related to Nightwish in any way, shape, or form. It can be a totally different genre. If there's something you want me to react to, please mention so in the comments down below. I will try to get to them as fast as possible. I came across this Nightwish based off of the Ginger video I did recently, and thank you all so much, by the way, for the feedback and whatnot on that video. That seemed to be a pretty big hit, and so I got a lot of suggestions for Nightwish. So I have never heard them before. I'm assuming that is, I could be getting them confused with Spirit Box. I think Spirit Box is the one that has the female-led singer slash screamer. So I actually have I don't know anything about Nightwish. I don't know a single thing about them, but the fact that they were in the same breath, in the same comment as Ginger, I am very curious about what they're all about. I know nothing about them, and I was told to listen to them live to kind of get the full experience, so that's what we're going to do today. It is a 10-minute video, so I will try to limit my amount of pauses, but I cannot guarantee anything, because if I hear something, I kind of have to let you know. That's the whole point of the channel. Otherwise, you're just watching me watch a video, which anybody can do that. So here we go. Nightwish Ghost Love Score Wacken 2013. Here we go. Okay. Oh. Okay, already I love the instrumentation that they're using. This is very okay, so I'm assuming this is a symphonic metal band. Now that I kind of know that, it calibrates my brain in the right spot. French horn is, regardless if this is a synth or an actual French horn that was being recorded, is one of my favorite instrument sounds ever. And so it's a very majestic sounding instrument. Like, you can't mistake a French horn. Like, you know when the French horn, like if the French horn's coming in, you know something's about to go down. So yeah, this is a very symphony oriented accompaniment and composition, so I can kind of see where this is going already. All right, here we go. Okay. Oh, beat drop there. There it was. Okay, got it. Nice transition. Oh! Okay, I see exactly where they're going with this now. Very, the voice, again, I know nothing about this band, so just from the sound of it, it sounds like she is classically trained, by the vowel choices she's using. This is very much a very operatic type style with a symphonic metal background, and it's very, very interesting. It's a nice little a kind of contradiction, kind of juxtaposition of like the styles that are kind of being in place here. This is fascinating. I'm gonna back up just a second. Nice. Did she just do the whole thing in one breath? Hold on. Okay, yeah, that's a long phrase. Okay, so I'm expecting there's going to be something in this bridge area, of which I'm probably not expecting. I'm getting a very Evanescence vibe without it being the same thing, if that makes sense. Obviously, it's really hard to mistake an Amy Lee's voice, and I'm not saying that the voices are the same, because they're very different stylistically. Amy Lee has a bit of is not quite as operatically sounding as this is, because this sounds it's a very classically trained voice from what I'm hearing, which is why it looks so easy for her to hit these notes, because of all her training. It's a lot easier for her to do these live. But just kind of the background noises of the synths and the guitars and the instrumentation in general is not not overbearing. Like, they're letting the vocalist do her thing and kind of soar throughout this whole through all of it, kind of giving her the spotlight. But yeah, I got to see what's up with the rest of this.
Siren from the deep came to me, sang my name, my Lord. Still I wrote my song.
For the record, I'm laughing at the fact that crowds can never clap on time, and that's just a given. You just have to kind of put up with it as a performer. That's just the way it is. Moving on.
About the dream of mine, worth everything I may ever be. The child will be born again. That siren carried him to me. First of them true loves, sitting on the shoulder of an angel without care.
That was a nice run. Hold on, just for that run again. That was nice.
The shoulder of an angel without care for love.
Here you go. Nice. Here's some more of the cinematics. Flute? Sounded like a flute. What I like about this accompaniment is that typically with bands that use backing tracks or any sort of symphonic or orchestral type arrangement will do one or the other in terms of you're either some you usually use symphony like instruments. So usually for symphony bands you would have, those are all like the brass instruments. You have your reed instruments, like clarinets, saxophones, all that, and then your trumpets, your trombones, your tubas, and then flutes as well. Or you would do it orchestral, which is mostly those are the string instruments, so your cellos, your violins, your violas, your upright bass. But they have a nice blend of both, which is not, it's not what's the word I'm looking for? It's just not as common when it comes to accompaniments with bands, if that makes sense. Like with rock bands. Obviously if you're in a symphony orchestra, that's the entirety of the thing, that's a different story. But as an accompaniment to a different group, typically you would have one or the other. So it's kind of nice to hear both sides of the spectrum of both. You're having the reed instruments, you're having flutes, you're having saxophones. I don't, maybe not saxophone, but I think there's clarinets in here. But as well as some strings. There's definitely cellos and violins here as well. Oboe. That's a piccolo. That's not a flute. It's a piccolo. Oh, nice crescendo. Okay, so notice as she's lower in her register, which is basically in her powerhouse from what this sounds like. She doesn't have to go as classically sounding because she doesn't have to necessarily. Again, not a vocal coach. This is just my understanding of it. When you're more classically trained and you're trying to hit the higher notes, so you're more, your easier pathway to reaching notes is having those really wide open vowels, which is why that that first movement was so easy for her, because she had such a wide open vowel sound, which allowed her to have a little more air coming through on those notes. This is a lower in her register, which allows her to kind of manipulate her voice a little more nuanced, so she can put a little more power, a little more grit into it. This is great. Oh, sorry, come back. Oh, nice. Yeah. Love it. Ooh. Wait, one more time. Was not expecting that melody. Yes. Yeah, did you hear that difference in her voice? There was an aggression to that first part of that little phrase there. I'm going back to there. It's showing the entire spectrum of her vocal abilities just in this last like minute and a half. Well, I guess 2 minutes if you include that interlude. but like she goes from this very classical operatic sounding to kind of a more straightforward voice, obviously still with a lot of control and whatnot, and able to manipulate it here and then. But she went full grit, a little bit of vocal fry to start the phrase, and it gave it a lot of aggression and kind of it set the tone for that kind of that section. Yes. Very nice synth melody there. Oh, random ad. Sorry about that, guys. Fixed it. Here we go. Yes, okay. Oh, there you go, double bass in there. Okay, so the vibe I'm getting from here, this is a band I would love to be a part of, to play in. It's a very nice mix of a heavier instrumentation, but not overly bearing metal. So the average viewer would obviously love to listen to this, or would tolerate it more than your average metal song. But also the symphonic like background, like, so obviously this is symphony metal, but the symphonic background of like it basically to me it just sounds like if you were to take a composition like Pirates of the Caribbean or whatever and then made it metal, and that I love that stuff. Also, I don't know. Never mind. It would just be something I would love to play in something like this. Oh, I remember. I think the reason why I'm enjoying this so much is if you guys have ever listened to Metallica, my favorite Metallica album of all time is Symphony of Metallica S&M, the first one. It is top 5 for me. Because the audio quality for a album that came out in the early 90s is second to none. Like, I don't know how they got the mastering and the sound that well, but also the mix of metal and symphonic composition. Like, obviously this is written very, very well, so it's giving me S&M vibes for people who know the album. If you have not listened to that album by Metallica, I highly encourage you to listen to that. It is a fantastic album. Here we go. We still got 3 minutes. Here we go. Okay. There's more of the Evanescence vibe. Nice. Back to that kind of first movement vibe. Here's how you know she was classically trained. Again, I'm not a vocal coach, but I know this much. You can't see my cursor, but watch her neck on this note, because there's no like veins popping out, or there's no tension here. That means she's very open, which means the air is moving very easily through her vocal cords, which means this note for her is like nothing. Like it's so easy because technically sound, if you're watching her neck, there's nothing going on here, which means that the note is like, that's the correct way to do it. So she's not ruining her voice. Yeah, see how relaxed she is? That one too. Oh, yes. There we go. Yes, very nice. There you go. Yes, very nicely done. Yeah, okay, yeah. I totally see where where this is coming from. Like, this is a very well composed, written, I don't know if this is this one song? I have no idea if this is one song or if it's a compilation of songs that they just like composed together. But first of all, her voice is like, that stole a show, obviously, because she can go in any which way. Obviously she can do the operatic part like you heard in that first and kind of that last movement a little bit. They have the rock metal vibe in their arsenal, like you saw in that kind of that second to the second. I don't know if there are movements or whatever. But yeah, I am thoroughly like intrigued. I would love to see more of this, because this is something that it combines my two lives together. Of like, I was in concert and symphonic bands for 7, 8, a lot of years, 10 years, I guess, if you include the marching band. So, and as a person who listens to metal like as a go-to, like metal is usually my go-to music, so it meshes them together, and I love this. I would love to hear more from this. So if you have any other suggestions for Nightwish, please let me know. I will be all over that. And yeah, that will do it for the video today. Thank you all for watching. Last little tidbit before we head out today: don't forget, we do stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. Mondays and Wednesdays typically we're live at 2:30, Thursdays typically 12:30. All times are subject to change though, based off of my work schedule. But if you're following the channel, then you will know exactly when I'm going live, so there won't be any questions about that. Until then though, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Have a good day.